Hi everyone, welcome to the next part of this video series from the Rooms of Wonder and Wizards room. I'm going to do the floor next. I have been just thinking about what colour to do it, and I've decided that the purple would be good. I felt that if I kept the walls and floors all pink and purple, pink and this sort of pinky purple, I'm going to start colouring while I'm talking, then the door is blue in the door frame and that would work. So I thought I would do all the shelving in blue, and then I can do all the bottles and books and things maybe in purples and maybe greys to sort of keep it all consistent really. I thought it would not only hopefully it'll all tie together and look good, but also I thought it would make it easier for me to choose colours, which is always nice. So as you can see, I'm sort of going in an across way for the carpet rather than round and round. I think it can work okay because carpets have a sort of pile which can be in a certain direction. So I think it works, and because I'm pressing quite lightly, which is what I want, I think it looks a bit fluffy. It might be hard for you to see because I'm quite zoomed out, but because I'm sort of going all the way across the page, I can't really come in much closer for you. But it really is just one medium pressure layer of this purpley colour. You can make it more intense, but I don't want it to necessarily really stand out massively. I want you to be able to see that there's a pink colour there, like on the wall. It's really pale on the wall. The idea is to sort of make sure it doesn't stand out, but it just looks like it's been coloured, and it sort of fits in with our colour scheme. So there is our carpet. It didn't take very long, did it? Apart from the fact that I missed that bit. Okay, now as I say, I'm thinking about doing all the woodwork and the shelving and everything in blue. I've got quite a good range of blues. I'm just having a think about what to do. Whether we match it with this indigo of the door frame, I think that might work quite well. Just trying to find it. It was the indigo light, wasn't it? So I'm going to do the shelves, but I will come in closer for those. Let's go in. So here we just have the one shelf on this side. So I've got my indigo light. I'm just going to go across. I don't want to press really hard. Again, I don't want it, particularly on this front bit. I think it would be darker on the underneath part. I find it quite interesting that we're looking up under the shelf on this high one. So I think this needs to be a little bit darker so that we can see that it's underneath. So I'm put another layer down there just to darken it. And then our little hangers, you could do these in the silver colour if you want. If it was my room, I would match the colour up to the shelf. And now we've got all our shelves on the other side. We'll just move across up. There we go. And I'm going to do them in the same way. The perspective is very interesting in this picture. So this one you can see up and under, and then the next two levels of shelving, you can see the top of the shelf as well as the front. I find that interesting. I've not ever noticed Johanna do that before. Maybe it's a sort of new thing for this book, but I think it works well. If they were a little bigger, I would make them darker at the back compared to the front, even underneath, but they're not, so I'm not going to worry too much. Now here again, I want the front of the shelf to be about the same sort of colour as that. You can do that one the same as well, like that, and the bit underneath to be similar, but actually because it's further back, it might be a little bit darker. Let's do a second layer, like that. Just covering over that bit where I missed a bit. My boiler's kicking in. I think my heating's on this morning. It's quite cool. Now the top of the shelf is more likely to catch light, so I think it's more likely to be even lighter than that front. So I'm going to try and do it with a lighter touch. Quite tricky, but I'm doing my best. I can always just darken that a little bit so it shows up as lighter. And the same here, try and do this bit lighter. I'm a bit confused by that. I think I've done that wrong, hold on. Just going to erase back that and think about this. Because we've got a picture going behind and it would come all the way across here. So I think Johanna maybe missed that line out, but now I've got a really dark blue bit. I just take that across. I'll have a think about that when I finish that, all the knickknacks. We're going to move on and do our blue table. Excuse me. Now, again, we've got bits further back, further forward. I think the best thing to do is to start with this very top piece, which I think would be the lightest bit, and just colour it with a light touch. If you haven't got a light touch, do the lightest you can, and what we want is this is going to be the lightest bit, so you just need to layer up the others for more. So even if you're not as light as me, it doesn't matter, so don't worry. So just getting in every little nook and cranny, as we say, or crooks and grannies, as my mum used to say. But there we go. Now, these front pieces, these bits, I think will be just slightly darker. And I'm going to fade them towards the middle to try and emphasise that rounded shape of the shelving. So make that a little bit darker. I know I've gone over onto the plant pot. I'm going to pretend I didn't. No one noticed. We could do that on the top, but I think I won't. See, the top's quite complex. We've got the shadow of the globe, which might come underneath, or it might be lighter on the edges, or so I'm just going to leave it. I think it's too complicated. Right, so this front piece here I'm going to do in a similar way. So fade it slightly darker at the edge and fade it towards the middle. Don't want it too dark, because this bit needs to be darker. I'll show you. If you need something darker and you're heavy-handed and you've already put down as much blue as you think is going to go down and you can't make it any darker, use a bit of black. You can darken everything with black. Sometimes it's better to darken things with a brown, but with a blue, a black would be the way I would go. If you're darkening a green or something, a blue would be better, but I'm confused. Brown would be better. I'm confusing you. Right, let's do this shelf. I'm going to use a light touch like I did on the top for this bit, because this is the front edge of the shelf. Some light might still get in here, and I want this back bit to look darker, because it is definitely going to be shadowed by the shelf above. There we go. So now I'm going to actually build up a couple of layers as I go, so I'll slow down a bit for this bit because it takes a bit more layering. I've actually got a bonus. This is quite a bonus to me to be able to record today. I wasn't sure if I was getting workmen today. I'm still not sure, but no one's arrived and it's 9:30, so I'm assuming no one's coming. I know my carpenter said they won't be in. I thought I might have an electrician, but if they come I'll just have to stop. But I thought I would take advantage of having an empty house and do a bit of recording. It's rather nice. I am expecting some parcels though, so I can't go out. I do need to go out. My children are home this afternoon, so they can get the door if parcels arrive, and I can nip out. I say nip out, I need to buy some shoes and some storage containers and some trivets, because my new kitchen worktop needs protecting. Obviously my old one did too, but I haven't got a draining board now. I've got some cuts in the worktop. I used to use my draining board to put hot pans on. I won't be able to do that. And also I used to put hot pans on top of my hob. Now I've got a what's it called, induction hob, I think that's what it's called. I can't put stuff on it, so I need some more trivets, which is fine. I'm going to go and have a look in. It's a really nice little kitcheny shop in town, which is an independent shop. I'm using the same sort of light touch, hopefully. I'm just going to stop and look at that while I wipe my nose, and thinking I do need a bit more going on there. It's not contrasting enough for me. So the back pieces, this piece and this piece, need to be darker. I'm going to do another layer. I realise I'm going over the lines of all these bottles, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Well, not worry at all, in fact. Ooh, I nearly started singing then. I better talk, not sing. I'm going to do the same on this one. You can see it makes quite a difference. It sort of really makes it look more shadowy and sits back a bit. I've seen some people do shelving in an app. I think it's Cherry Colours on Instagram. She did Pika's room, and the shelving on that, oh my goodness, it's absolutely amazing. But something to inspire, not to intimidate. It can be, can't it? But I can't do it that well. I'm just doing it to my ability. I want to try and make this bit darker as well and lighten it towards the middle like I have done on the edge. I think it's going to look more effective. So I'm just going to darken the edges on the outside. I've coloured over the book there. And then the same at the bottom. I think this might be enough to satisfy me. Oh, it's a train. They're very loud, the horns of the trains. I don't know if you can hear them, but it's quite funny because when my workmen are here, they imitate the noise as the train goes by. So now I think that looks quite rounded. I feel like I need to do something on the top shelf. I think I'll just make it a bit dark on the edge to help sort of give the rounded illusion rather than worrying about shadows. Shadows are trickier. There, I'm going to leave it there. Okay, I'm just checking and seeing if there are any more shelving or surfaces or anything to do, and there isn't. She says confidently, still looking. So that's that. What I'm going to do now, I think, is I'm going to do all the grey, the silver. So I have my cool grey, and I've been doing silver, like on the window where we use this for the silver. I'm going to look at all the items and pick what I want to be silver and do it silver. I have decided to make my candle light silver. Now, I know that's weird and odd. You don't have to do this. It may not. It may look really weird. I'm just trying to work out how to make it look shiny like the window. I think I need to do it darker at the bottom and leave some white at the top. I need a really sharp pencil. It's quite a small space, isn't it? Right. I think that will do. So, dark at the bottom, fade and leave white at the top. Doesn't really look as silvery as the window, but you could use a silver pen, and I might use one for these bits around here. I'm also going to do this little flame here as well in the same way, or else it's going to look a little odd. There we go. Right, that's really different, and you know, maybe I'll regret that idea, I don't know. But hey, now our candlestick also I'm going to do in silver. So I'm going to start at this edge and this edge. Just fade towards the middle. I want to leave a shine line down the middle. I I find it easier doing it down the middle. I'm going to treat this whole piece here as one piece, be easier, and then just bring that in gently, fading as we go. Not sure how much white we need, so I'm going to do that side as well. There we go. I find pieces facing this way are easier. I don't know why. There we go. And a piece there. Now these arm pieces, I think I'm just going to do similarly and just do a bit each end. Sort of fade them near the top. I think this one isn't going to have any white on because it's obscured behind. There we go. I am going to do every pot lid in silver as well. So I've decided, you know, to make it all match. I think it's easier to do it this way. There we go. So it's all the same sort of technique really. Darker each side, lighter. Now let's move down. We have our key, which needs to be silver too. So I'm going to put a little bit here and here, a bit on the top, and then just fade them each way and leave a bit of white each side. For this bit, the white's going to be in the centre. I'm going to fill those bits in, and for this bit the white's going to be in the centre too, like that. Lantern. Oh, key tack. I just coloured it in this one. Do less towards the top. There we go. So I'm going to fade that upwards for that, like that. This one again, fade upwards so it's white at the top. The whole of this lantern is going to be silver. Now if you're not using castles, a tip for silver is use a cool grey. I do have some instructions on creating silver in a much more complex way, and a sort of blue colour is added as well. Not any old blue though, the polychromo sky blue type blue. There isn't a similar blue in my set of castles, so I'm ignoring that little up pattern, just going through like that. I'm not sure how to do this bit inside here because it's a silver light, so maybe just leaving it white would be the way to go. I'll think about that later. Right, we have more lids. This looks more like a cork, but it's going to be silver because that's how they're all going to be. Like that. I'm going to do these little bugs, I'm going to do their bodies in quite a dark grey, and then their wings in just a light grey. Like that. It's just like he's got sweeties in this one. Not sure what to do with that. We'll worry about that later. Now we have a lot of bottles going on here, and all of the lids are going to be silver. I'm just looking, we've got a coffee pot there. We could do that silver. We've got another one there. And more lots of cups. I think what I'll do, I do the coffee pot silver. So I'm doing dark along the bottom of the spout and white at the top. But with the main part, I'm going to do it dark each side. And a light bit down the middle. Same with the lid. Make that bit a bit darker under there. I think I've coloured the handle in green by mistake. I thought it was a bit of the plant, but never mind, it's done now. So these, a little bit on there, go around and leave a white bit in the middle if you can. A bit small. Now, bowl. Okay. Can you see? Yes, make sure I'm not moving out of shot. This pot, the same as that pot, so as I did before, dark at the bottom of the spout and leave a bit of white, a bit each side until it's white in the middle. That one darker under there where there'd be shadow. Handle up a little bit so that bit's white. Main body, main part. I'm so hungry. It's 20 to 10 and I'm hungry. What's the matter with me? My stomach is... So there, and it looks like it's got some shine. I'm going to do all these little pots as well in silver, as if we've got a little silver tea set. Like that. And the cups. Just because I want them to stand out as being a bit different to the jars and magical potions and things. But we do this lid. And this lid. And this lid. Around the circle. Now down on our next shelf, I'm going to ignore the books. We've got another lid here to do on this one. And this one. I'm not sure, that looks like a really long lid. These are going to be silver. So again, leave the point white. Bring that in from that side and this side. Shine in the middle. Same here. In the inside I tend to do it a little bit darker. On this one we've got a pattern I'm going to ignore. I'm going to colour over it. Like that. Shine there. Shine there. Again, we've got a very long bottle here. I don't quite know what's going on. I just sort of colour that in. And more books. Okay, so these bottles on the bottom, every lid in the same way, a bit of dark at each end. Like this. And all the way across. Now I need to check how long we've been going to think about how to split this up. But I might sort of, I don't know, 23 minutes. Okay, so all the bottles up here. Now this candle is in a bottle. It's not really a lid, that's the rim, isn't it? So we'll leave that. But we'll do that lid. Now we'll do this little snowstorm globe, snow globe, that's the word, with a silvery base, like that. Let's do silvery roofs on the houses. Leave a bit of white. They're quite small, aren't they? And I'm just going to block in those chimneys. Okay, now this bottle, I'm going to try and leave some white in the middle. There we go. Same with this one. Quite tricky, but it's a little bit bigger, there is space. There we go. The photo frame I'm going to do in silver. So we've got, I'm going to leave a white bit in the centre of each of these edges. Like this. And the bottle top. And plant pots. haven't thought about plant pots yet. We've actually only got 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure. I'm just going to leave it for a minute. Let's push this up and do the bottom part. How far have we got there? Right, so we need this lid round and round. Try and fade it towards the middle and then leave a gap. You can do the neck of this bottle in silver too. So leaving a white bit in the middle. This top with a gap. Now as you go through, you'll become more practiced at this. I'm doing that, I probably shouldn't have, but never mind. And it becomes easier, apparently easier to get distracted. Right, we've got a candle here, so we're going to do the flame like we did the others. And then this ring with a white bit at the top is probably pink because I've probably gone over it. Because my pink's quite faint, I can't really see it. Now sometimes with metallics people actually use a white pen for the white. I have tried that and I'm not very good at getting it to look right, which is why I don't do it. But there's nothing wrong with doing it. It's up to you. But for me it looks a bit too stark and I tend to not be able to put my pen in the right place. So we've got a cup here and I'm going to do that silver like although it's a sort of beaker, I'm just going to do it like we did with the other cups and the spoon. We've got a coffee pot, so in exactly the same way. It looks more complex, but it doesn't need to be. Spout. Lid. This bit with a bit of white in the middle. Can't do it, but never mind. White in the middle of there, and then take this whole area and just take the colour in. Like that. Lid on this one, I'm going to do that bit. And this bit. Like that. And the rim and the lid. It could be both parts of the lid, you see, which is why I do it like that. It makes it a bit easier. Not sure what's going on here. I think that's a cork. I'm just going to colour all of that in silver. It's easier because it's a bit fiddly otherwise. There we go. That one hasn't really got a lid, but I think that's the rim really, but I'm just going to do it to match. We've got a bowl. Can you see right down here? Now Johanna's drawn a bit of shadow on this side, so it could indicate to you you want to do that bit a bit darker, but I'm actually just doing it in my way and sort of ignoring that, which is probably a bit naughty, but yeah. Doing the top of that, because although it's a conical flask, which hasn't got a lid, it just matched all the other bottles. Now I'm having a quick glance around to see what I've missed. Can't see any obvious things that I've missed at the minute, but you know. So what have we done? We've done silver and we've done the carpet. Is that all we've done? Oh, we did the shelving. Oh, how long have we been? 28 minutes. I'm just trying to decide whether to do the plant pot silver, but I think I'm not going to make that decision now. I think I'm going to finish that there because it's quite long. Quite long enough really. It's quite a bit to do, although you've got no homework today, which is good. I'm just going to hold it up so you can see it better because it lies a little bit flatter, and I'm taking a photo for the thumbnail while I'm nattering on. But that's that for today. Tomorrow we'll come back. I don't know if we'll finish it tomorrow. I think we probably could. It depends how good fast I am. I just noticed that these flowers these petals need a bit of the lighter green on them. And I missed some there, and those trees. So I'm going to do those. Well, I might do them with you tomorrow. But anyway, that's me for this video. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed the rest of your day, and happy colouring.